Hello! In the spirit of it being Pride Month, I crocheted her a little rainbow, and I just kind of like crocheted across the top and put a tassel on it and then put some stuff on the fringe on the bottom. And she instantly put it on her belt loop on her jeans, and it looked amazing as an accessory. And I was looking at it like, oh, this would make a really great pouch. So I came home and I made another one, and I very sloppily put a zipper in. This is extremely shoddy craftsmanship, but it's just proof of concept. Video today, making this, showing you how I made it. Very, very simple. It's absolutely almost not even tutorial worthy. But what you're gonna need, if you want to do a rainbow, you're gonna need your colors of the rainbow. I am using, this is a 4-ply yarn, and I'm using a 4mm hook, sewing pins, little hand needle, oh yeah, and a zip. I have this pack of this really atrocious. These are those like invisible zippers, and that's it. That is everything. Let us not linger. So I'm gonna start with purple. I'm gonna chain 3. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna chain 4, just to make things more visible for you guys on screen. So I've got 4 chains, and then I'm gonna just slip stitch into the first one. By the way, if you know how to make a flat circle for crocheting, like that's what we're doing. In the middle of this circle that we have just made, I'm going to crochet 6 single crochets, and I'm crocheting over the top of this dude here. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we've got 6, and then into that first one, slip stitch, give it a bit of a tighten, tug, and then chain 1. Alright, so what we're going to do is now crochet 2 into every single one of these. And I'm crocheting over the top of this dude because I hate sewing ends in. It's the bane of my existence. Oh gosh, everything's a bit tight. I probably should have waited to give it a big tug on that thing. But anyway, 1, 2, go into the next stitch, 3, 4, go into the next stitch, 5, 6, next stitch, 7, 8, next stitch, 9, 10, and last one, 11, 12. So this is the first stitch. This thing is where the chain that we did to like move up, and then this is actually the first stitch. This is the one that we're going to slip stitch into. Okay. Alright, so we've now got 2 rows of purple, which means it's time to change color. I'm going to snip this, give it a tail, and just pull through there. Now, this time we're not just going to go double in every stitch. What I like to think of it as is in this first row, we're working in singles. The second one, we were doing double, 2s, working in sets of 2. Now we're working in sets of 3. So how I think of that is we do a single crochet in the first stitch, and then 2 single crochets in the next stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, do that again. 1 in the next stitch, 1, and then next stitch again, 2, into the same stitch, 3. So we're working in sets of 3. I like to do it as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go around. Oops, 1 stitch in here, 1, 2, 3. So single crochet into the next stitch, and then increase into the next stitch, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of the tails, get them out of the way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we should have increased by 6 stitches. Every row that we go up, we're increasing by 6 stitches. So this row was 6, this was 12, and then this one here, we now have 18 stitches. Okay, so this is that first stitch. It's really easy to find it because it's a different color. I'm gonna slip stitch into there, put a little bit tight, chain to go up. Now, this next row, we're working in sets of 4. So that means, for me, I'm gonna say single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3, and this third one we're increasing. So that's 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Single, single, increase. So that's 2 single crochets into the same stitch. Okay, so that's 4 stitches. Single, single, increase. Okay, so we're gonna go up 6 stitches again, so that means there should be 24 stitches in this row. And we're gonna do that for every row. So this one we're working in sets of 4, right? So that means the next row we're gonna be working in sets of 5. Next row is 6, next row is 7. We're just gonna keep going until we get 2 rows of each color. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then last set, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like I said, there should be 24 stitches. So if you go back and count how many stitches are in this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So this is the first stitch in that row. So we're gonna slip stitch in there. Give it a bit of tight. There we go. So again, we're gonna change color now because we've done 2 rows of blue, right? So give that a bit of a snip. What's our next color? Green. And this is just the same thing that we're gonna do until we get to what's our last color? Pink. Okay, so it's 2 rows in every color. So this time we're working in 5s. So that means 3 single crochets and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, and then increase. 4, 5. Okay. Again, 3 single crochets and an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you count, there should be 30 stitches in this row. And then you're just going to slip stitch into the first one, like so, and then continue working. But what we're going to do is just continue doing this. This time we're working in 6, so that means 4 single crochets and then an increase. I wonder if that's confusing. My brain thinks of it as like 6 stitches in like a set. So like 1, 2, 3, 4 singles and then an increase, which is 2 singles, right? So that's 6. I'm getting confused just listening to myself talk. I really apologize for that. But yeah, so I know that there is a million tutorials, or at least there's a million pictures of things that are similar to this on Pinterest. But the thing is, I also saw this rainbow crochet thing on, is it called Farfetch? And it was like this little crochet rainbow. It only had 3 colors in it, so I guess it wasn't technically a rainbow. And it was 250 pounds or something like that. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Is this for charity? to be fair, crochet, if you're buying something crochet, it should be expensive, because as far as I understand it, you can't make crochet on machinery, which means that there's somebody sitting there like making it. That's how I understand it anyway. Whereas like knitting, I think you can do a lot of stuff on a machine, not everything maybe, but this kind of thing, this little mini rainbow type dealio, it costs something like, I don't know, like $1 or $2 worth of yarn. And it's like, I don't know, an hour's worth of labor, if that. This one that I saw on Farfetch was only like 3 rows. It was this teeny tiny thing. I wonder if that's the name of the website, or I'm mucking it up. But anyway, the one I saw online was teeny tiny and so unbelievably expensive. For what reason? It was just pure garbage. I'm hoping that the money was going to charity or something like that. Like, surely that had to be the explanation for it. But that's why I decided to do this little tutorial type thing. There's probably already good tutorials for this on YouTube, but like I said, I saw my tattoo artist wearing this as like a little accessory on her belt, and I was like, that is so cute. I want to bring more of that into the world. Anyway, so I'm going to change colors. I've also, as always, chosen pastel colors instead of the actual rainbow colors. You can obviously choose whatever colors you like. It is up to you completely. This is the next row, so we're doing 7 in this one, which means 5 single crochets and an increase. By the way, if you get confused at any point where you're like, oh my gosh, I've lost count, think of it this way. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the 7th row, which means that there's 7 stitches in each repetition, repeat, whatever you want to call it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the increase 6, 7. So it's a 7th row and there's 7 stitches in each repeat. So 1. Okay, so we're just gonna keep doing that. This is row 7. That means we're going to do 1 more in yellow, and then we're going to do 2 rows in orange, peach orange, that kind of color. And then we're doing 2 rows in pink. Anyway, let's power ahead and do that, and then I will come back and check in with you when we are finished, because this is kind of the no-brainer part. Okay, we have a full circle with 72 stitches. So what we're going to do now is put our zipper in. So I've unzipped my zip all the way to the end. And then I'm going to make sure that I've got the right part. So this part is going to line up here. You're going to be a little careful about which part of the zip you put down, because I have stuffed this up so many times. But yeah, this is, I'm sort of lining the zip up with the bottom of this top row of pink. Yeah, it looks like the zip is right way up on this one, so we're all good to go. Alright, so that's what he's looking at this point. This used to be a piece of this yarn, and it's 4-ply. So I've pulled out one of the threads, and then I've kind of doubled it over and shoved it in hand sewing needle. And I'm just going to put a knot at the end. I'm not going to finesse this too much because I don't expect to be putting too much stress on this zipper. But if you are planning to stress your zipper out, like do back stitches or something, I'm just going to go straight in and yeah, just a normal running stitch, I guess it's called. And like you can see, fortunately, because of we've like pulled out a strand of yarn that's the same color exactly, it just really disappears. You can't really see anything. You can get away with being decently messy and fast with this part, and it won't cause too many problems for you down the road. Be really careful not to accidentally, if you're using one of these invisible zippers, catch this part when you're sewing, because the zip will not work if you do that. I have learned from bitter experience. Had to unpick everything and do it again, which is no fun. So then I'm going to bury the needle kind of in here just to like carry my thread across, because we don't want it to get in the way of the zipper. And then carry on down the other side, all sewn together. So at the end here, I'm just gonna kind of match these two dudes up and sew them together. You can sew the teeth here, obviously, so that the zip doesn't try and run away. I always get nervous at this point because I'm like, did I put the zip on the correct way, or have I wasted the last 10 minutes of my life hand sewing a zip on backwards? Because the answer to that question has been yes, more often than I would like to admit. Actually, you know what? I'm not ashamed of admitting it. I'll admit it. I have sewn zippers on backwards many times because I'm sometimes a bit of a dum-dum. Yeah, that's my rainbow, and what I'm gonna do is, you can just tuck that in. I'm gonna like cut it later. That's my little rainbow dude. You can chuck this in your bag and call it a day and be pretty happy. But what I'm gonna do is just add a little something something. I'm gonna start off by putting a little handle, and what I'm gonna do is probably take a double sort of length of this yarn, and then I'm gonna find somewhere in the middle. I don't really care if it's exactly in the middle. I'm gonna find something that resembles the middle, and then I'm gonna single crochet onto there, and then I've doubled it up just to like make it thicker, and then I'm just gonna chain until I get a good length for a little tassel. I don't know how many strands that is, but give it a test. A little bit longer. Yeah, that's good. All right, so I'm gonna come back to the bottom where I've got the same right next to that one. Probably not the same stitch because then it puts too much stress on just the same one stitch. Because if you put it in the stitch next to it, then it sort of disperses the burden a little bit. I have probably not made that yarn long enough. Probably gonna regret that later, but you know, that's future Min's problem. Just feed that through there, give it a yank, tighten it off. So now we've got a little strap on the top. Sew these ends in. Do that really quick. Now I want to also do some tassels. So determine how long you want your tassel to be. I think I want mine to be about that long, which is 15 centimeters. So, okay, so 60 centimeter yarn, halve that, and then halve that again. I'm not gonna cut it this time though, okay? So I've got two bits of yarn that's 30 centimeters long. God, why is math suddenly so hard? All right, so this is what I'm considering the front of my little rainbow dude. So I'm just gonna go to the bottom, catch a stitch, grab this, pull it through, and then loop it over this, tuck it through, make sure that the ends are like sort of the same length so that you're not pulling the whole thing out of whack, and then give that a tug. And then that's how you add a tassel. And then you go ahead and do that as much as you like. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and show you the final results, and then we'll be done and finished. Looks really cute. So I guess this is my Pride Month contribution. Like I said, this project has probably been done a million times on YouTube and Pinterest and stuff. I don't think I'm contributing anything revolutionary, but I hope it inspires someone or helps them figure out whatever technique they need to. You could even line it, actually. It would be so easy. You just get like a circle of fabric and then you know, hand stitch it, whip stitch it to the zipper, and then you would have a really neat, clean little professional finish on your pouch. But anyway, have a fantastic week and happy Pride. Bye!